Welcome to the Network Outdoors podcast. We're your hosts, Justin Smith and Brandon Malson. Network Outdoors is a member-driven organization made up of business professionals that are tired of traditional boardroom networking, but they find value in connecting with others that are also passionate about living close to the land and waterways. On this podcast channel, we invite members, subject matter experts, guides, and outfitters to share their experiences and knowledge and talk about all things hunting, fishing, foraging, land conservation, habitat, and game management.
Ashley Agler.
Hey, how's it going, Brandon?
Good. Let's see here. Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks. It's great to join Network Outdoors.
Yeah, thanks for having me out to your place.
Yeah, we're out here next to the Pier Marquette. It's nice and snowy, and it's almost like being in a snow globe.
We've literally been talking for a couple hours now, a few hours probably. We're moving on. And Ashley was nice enough to have me out. So obviously y'all don't hear Justin's voice. So bear with me during this time we have together, because this is my first time operating all of this equipment.
I'd say you're being a pro.
Wow.
You're doing a great job.
The whole thing, well, Justin, you are missed, but I think we can get through this one together.
Yes, we dearly miss you, Justin. There's an empty chair here for you.
So we've been talking for a couple hours, and we've nailed down a lot of different topics and plans and things for 2022. Very exciting. Right now, if you could imagine, and usually we have video camera or something taping us, but I am in a couple 100 square foot, windows on all sides, peninsula of one of the most beautiful rivers in Michigan, and trout, migratory salmon, steelhead, everything worked their way around. This is Ashley's little zone of paradise. And so she was nice enough to invite me out here. Just a minute ago, it's been snowing literally like a snow globe around us. This is super cool. And this is also the place, we'll get into it later, where there's going to be a number of events this coming year. Yeah. So Ashley, you have a very interesting story.
Yeah, a little bit.
I would say, to sum it up, and you're gonna get into it if you could, but Ashley is ex-big tech. She runs a women's group. She is a consultant of a number of different things, personally, professionally. She's an artist, avid fly fisherman, angler, hunter. I've seen and heard a lot of stories. What are you up to these days?
So these days, I've made a huge transition going from living and working in big tech, so living in South Florida, to working and living on my own terms outside of Baldwin. So what that looks like is going from doing 40 plus hours a week on the phone, working with clientele, to now choosing who my clients are and spending a lot less time on the phone. So now I spend my time kind of imagining or dreaming up what a new reality can look like. So that new reality includes a lot more time on the water, advocating for getting people out here, and just a lot less stress. So
a few months ago, it feels like it's been a long time. Yeah. We've been following Ashley for quite some time. Finally, we figured out a way to connect with her and meet her up on the river back in salmon season, September. And so we'd been following around just on social media and said, hey, let's give it a shot. We go up there quite a bit fishing. I'm referring to Justin and I. Let's see if she'll meet up with us. Very interesting posts and thoughts and just a whole mindset and idea of living. Different than a lot of other people that we come in contact with in the busy city. So we met up with Ashley. One, I wasn't sure how it was going to go. We had no idea. Seems like a very cool individual on social. And she had us said, hey, meet me and dropped a pin in the middle of nowhere. We're already in the kind of the middle of nowhere. If you were to look at it from a Metro Detroit standpoint, but this pin was not where we had been fishing for salmon prior. And so Justin and I go, whatever, let's go. We show up there and we're like, okay, this is backwoods, definitely. And we get there and all of a sudden some random side-by-sides come out of nowhere. And we're like, okay, this is going to be very good, very bad, or, we're not really sure. And then all of a sudden Ashley appears out of I think you had the Subaru that day.
I had the Tacoma.
Yeah. Just all of a sudden by herself. Hey guys, how you doing? Ready to fish. And we're like, okay, this is going to be cool. We take about, like Justin and I's normal style, 2 hours or so to tie up our stuff, blow through most of the fishing time. We get into some sections of the river, had a good time, and figured in that short period of time of talking, we need to do something together. And so now a few months have gone by. More collaboration talks have happened. Now we're meeting in person again. We've decided to come together on a whole series of things, but overall a partnership within Network Outdoors. And so there's going to be a few events. I'm going to let Ashley take it from here to describe what is going to go on at least 3 times next year in 2022 on this very property.
Yeah, I'm really excited. So Brandon and I worked out quite a few details today around how to bring people like yourselves out to the area to really experience how nature can heal and how it's not just a place for competition or for just recreating. So these events that we're looking at, what we're going to be doing is a lot of intro to fly fishing. So if you're new to fly fishing, this will be talking about tiny water, so small water, tight water. So a lot of how do you roll cast or bow and arrow into those areas. There'll be camping, so being outside, bonfires with other people, which are awesome. Mm-hmm. And then
it's a pristine property. How many acres is this again?
It's 10 acres, and it has the middle branch of the Pure Marquette running through the middle. So you can hang out on either side of the river, and it's really fun. The fact that you can go out there and just hang out or even ride down a tube if it's too hot to fish is really special. And some other things that we'll be doing with these events are, art. So bringing in some fine art supplies so people can do that, and yoga, wellness. If you're someone who's looking to make a career change, Brandon, Justin, all 3 of us have quite extensive knowledge of that. So being able to consult with us throughout these times together will be a lot of fun. I'm trying to think of what else we'll be doing.
Oh, gosh.
Food.
Oh, yeah, food. So she's walking me, or as soon as I get here, I've never seen the place. I've seen very few pictures or select pictures that you post online. And most of them had been from the bus. So I haven't really seen the property. It's like a lot of times you'll take a video of like, hey, here's a cool section of the river. And then it looks like a section of the river until you're out here. Now I can get, as soon as I got here, hey, do you want to take a tour? We walk around the outside, and Ashley is being very modest, but she has her own horseshoe. Like a huge bend of the river, owns both sides of it with not, I was going to say drawbridge, but wooden bridges going over that section of the horseshoe and then another section. It's unbelievable. And you can literally see the holes from a high bank of where fish are hanging out. And here we have, and it's private on both sides by Ashley. And she's going to be here showing people how to get into those tight corners. You have overhanging trees. It is an intro to fly fishing, but at the same time, people have been fly fishing for a long, long time that haven't had an opportunity to get into these types of situations and then still have an at-bat at the types of trout that live in some of these places right around the property.
Yeah, definitely. This is like a really great place to do some instruction as well as just to do discovery. And I wouldn't say that all of this is like there's going to be any guided fishing. It's just mostly going to be giving people a chance to come out and see how to do some of these techniques and experiment on your own. With how we are looking to structure these events, it's going to be very flexible. So however you feel comfortable spending your time, you know, if it's spending time here around the water close to the home, that's great. There's also within just a few moments the Baldwin River and the south branch of the Pier Marquette. So plenty of opportunity just within minutes.
Yeah, I've been focused more on the water.
Yeah.
And the fish and the fishing opportunity and the teaching. Right, no guides, but at the same time it's that. But I haven't even touched on the traveling from the main road back to the water. There's a beautiful landscape of woods, hardwoods, there's pines, it's a nature's paradise back here. She's talking about turkey, deer, different birds.
Turkey I caught barehanded.
Barehanded. I would have her give that story here on, but I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna let her share that once you come to one of these events. You can hear it firsthand because you have to see the area.
Yeah.
But barehanded, she did it. That's real.
Yeah. This cabin's absolutely like Brandon's saying. The land is something very special. We kind of nickname it. The family calls it Fern Gully because when you do come in, you come to the top of a ridge and you can see down into the cedars, and in the summer it's like it's so full of ferns. Mm-hmm. It looks like something out of a movie. But we're really excited to start working to transition this area into space that can be used for really recreation, like Airbnb, cabin rental.
Retreat house.
Yep. Yeah. I like that. It's
unbelievable. No, we're really excited. So as she was walking me around the property, she was painting the picture of what these events could be. So she mentioned a few things. So of course, fishing. Everybody probably will have some sort of love for fishing or an interest in getting into it or doing something active on the river. It will be summertime, so I believe it's going to be a May will be the first event. Yes. May, June, August, and a possible September or July, and a possible May, June, July, and possible September.
Let me pull out my. So we have.
In true fashion, if there was a camera here, Ashley says, gosh, we have so many notes and ideas flowing. Let me pull out a pen and paper. And she wrote on
paper plates.
We have 2 paper plates full of notes.
Yeah. So couldn't find my notebook, but paper plates do just as good. So what we've decided on is in May, in June, and then July. Since you guys have so much going on in August, we take a break then, and then maybe some opportunity for something cool in September.
Yeah, in conjunction with the salmon run that happens through here.
Yeah.
Ashley has salmon in her backyard.
Yeah, they hang out here.
Unbelievable. So, of course, you'll be fishing. Great opportunity for nature walk. The landscape is impeccable. I'm seeing it here, snow covered, so I can imagine what it's going to be in a perfect late spring, early summer setting.
Somewhere to bring a hammock.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, I can imagine putting tents out. She was showing me around and said, here's where yoga could be. The bonfire pit is ridiculous. It's awesome.
You could essentially put a sleeping bag out there and just sleep there.
Yeah. As we're walking up to it, I go, is there electricity out there? Because there's a light running up into the tree over facing it. Not restored yet, but at one time there was. This place it's a pretty cool, unique little homestead. Yeah. So there'll be a spot for yoga. Let's say it's in the morning. I believe Ashley will be running yoga. Nobody wants to see me running yoga. So I 100%. Justin, maybe not. I'll get into it though. I'll try it. Certainly won't be leading. Painting and other art activities, different creative mind. There's plenty of material that will be included. Ashley, to name a few things, you were talking about some canvases, paints.
Yeah, painting, so acrylic, oil, watercolor. I have sculpture stuff that can be brought out if you're in the mood to sculpt something. We'll be doing Reiki healing on site, so if that's something that people are interested in, that is something that I have ability to do. So Reiki healing, Akashic past life records. In terms of yoga, yes, morning yoga and meditation out there on the dock. So we'll have a lot of ways for you to connect emotionally, spiritually, and naturally with the world around you.
I love it. There's going to be, it's a 3-day weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be 3 days, 2 nights, each event, smaller group. So it won't be, a bustling large group setting. It will be smaller, intimate group setting with a structured itinerary, yet flexible for you to go spend your own time exploring nature, creative, taking a nap, whatever you want to do. Also, getting together as a group for group meals. We'll be doing some cooking. Definitely cooking.
I love cooking. So we'll be cooking together. We do a lot of outdoor cooking. So cooking on a grill, just being able to get together and commune over food is something that's extremely important to me.
One thing we're going to have to figure out, and I was unaware of this, even being an avid waterfowler, duck neck.
I love duck neck.
I'm looking at a Ninja pressure cooker that she has in here, and she's talking about cooking a mean duck neck. Before this event, or even the first event, it is turkey season. And so we may have to have a challenge of Network Outdoors members to go out and get their wild turkey, keep the neck, and have Ashley cook it here during one of these events.
Yeah, I'm totally down. I love turkey neck, duck neck. It's so over this past summer, we raised some birds, and honestly, one of the main reasons is necks. Neck meat is so good.
Unbelievable. I've never tried it. Not that I'm aware of, at least, but I'm excited about it. Waterfowl season has come and gone.
Yeah.
At least in Michigan. But turkey season will be right before at least our first event, so that's perfect.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah.
We'll do some, I still have some birds that I raised, so we can even.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we talked about the steak and how good certain things are going to be and what we're going to pair it with, and really looking forward to it. I think there'll be a max of 8 or 10 people.
Yeah, we'll probably max out around 8 to 10, and it's really going to be more of an intimate setting. I would say like partying and like going hard all night probably won't be in the books for this sort of thing, but it'll be, I guess, more deeper connection with the people you're with.
I love it. Time to get away. Go to the retreat house on the Riverside.
Go hide.
Yeah. But also be connected.
Yeah.
Kind of a cool opportunity to do a lot of different things that you want to do connection-wise, but be in a place that is not the busy city.
Definitely.
How, out of curiosity, how'd you get into doing something like this, or even thinking of putting together this type of setting and these opportunities for these people to come and share?
This has been, I guess, kind of it's almost a lifelong dream. Kind of got diverted working in IT. So my time spent in IT, I was always daydreaming about doing this. And finally I was like, I'm not getting any younger. In my mid-30s, it's time to actually start taking action. And it's like build what you want to see in the world.
Build what you want to see. You have this place. You went from Florida to West Palm Beach.
Mm-hmm.
You grew up here though.
Yeah.
So you're familiar with the river system already.
Yep.
Fly fish your whole life.
Yeah.
Go down to Florida, come back here, and you have this, you're in the middle of selling another place around the corner, but buying another place around the corner, expanding the homestead, and turning this into a full-time, not where you live, but a full-time rental retreat house where people can come get a room, get the whole place, put their own event on.
That's where our mindset's at currently. So understanding, kind of getting a more permanent homestead here versus being in a little tiny cabin. So working on that, and then really starting to focus this property more towards being that retreat space. Having people, during fishing season, having people have the ability to have more private water experiences and enjoy the water. And during the winter months, it's really cozy out here as you can see out the window.
It's ridiculous.
I could imagine you could bring like a significant other out here and have like a cozy getaway weekend.
So when we first met you, you were focused in on putting together a women's only group that is now, I don't know, for lack of a better term, morphed into co-ed retreats, but also women's only retreats or events. And now we're going to be working together. Super stoked about this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Fired up.
Yeah.
And, we started talking about, I'm trying to think back. We were talking about the need and how it became men and women. And so I was asking you, well, what are you seeing out there? You were saying, what are you seeing out there? And just in the few months that we've had Network Outdoors, we've seen a lot of times where people in general, men or women, they are curious about the outdoors, or they bass fish, but they don't necessarily fly fish, or they no longer fish because they were sick of sitting there looking at a bobber, but would like to do more of an active activity. And so Ashley's over here thinking, well, I know a lot of people that are interested in living an outdoor lifestyle or toning it down a notch from the busy city life. They're interested in the outdoors. They don't know where to start. And so I think you've done a decent amount of consulting and talking with individuals about where to start or what steps you need to take and to get into this. And you're living literally the example.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely a living example of that. So yes, spending time getting people over the hurdle of, it's like outdoor curious. Maybe it's like everyone's like talking about the sober curious lifestyle. So maybe it's the outdoor curious lifestyle. So helping individuals, I as a living example, I now went from working full time, lots of hours, always on the phone, to now I work how I want to. I dictate that time, and I've been helping people out. So as more people are getting burnt out from, 40, 50, 60 hours sitting in front of a laptop, helping a lot more individuals see the light at the end of the tunnel isn't always a clear-cut paved journey. It's a journey that you get to shape on your own, and sometimes deciding to work less means that we get to do really cool stuff like you and I are doing right now.
And you made a decision to go from make sure that cursor's moving, high paying salary, tech, to still high paid, but on your own terms, still somewhat tech, but also now you get an opportunity to coach, be an example, mentor, talk with, connect, network with other individuals that are looking to do something similar of just take a breath.
Yeah.
And explore whatever type of creative mind. We'll ask where we can get a hold of Ashley, but if you don't already follow her, she has done an incredible job of showcasing some of the things that she is now focused on, that she has time to focus in on, versus being stuck behind a computer 9 to 5 or 9 to 9,
yeah.
whatever the case, whatever time zone you're working.
Or 3 time zones you're working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally different lifestyle, still killing it financially, but also giving yourself time to reset. You talked about shutting the mind off for a year, but not necessarily completely off.
No.
You're just exploring new things.
Yeah. It's a matter of reprogramming your brain. And a lot of times what we see, or like I see with people, is we start to get in a mindset of like, this is the only way something can be done. Whereas like when you start to look at, for instance, you have a dream of moving out here, it's really feasible to make it happen because there's, the cost of living's lower. So you're paying way less for something that anywhere else would be, where we're sitting right now. You look at this property and you go, wow, if I was out in Tahoe or Montana or some Washington state, I would never have this. But when you start to look at more affordable places like Michigan or, Southern Ohio, there's an ability to afford the land. So you can start to look at, how can I work less so then I can enjoy myself more? And these are conversations I have with people all the time around, here's the steps you can take. And there's things like rural development farm loans. People don't realize you can buy a house with that out here and continue working a job where maybe you're connected. Maybe you're working for a company in the city, but you're no longer subjecting yourself to being in that environment.
Gosh, she has a resume of a high-powered change manager for big tech. She just knows how to bring it down to a level of connection and encouragement. That's inspiring.
Yeah, and it's not hard to come out here. It's
pretty cool.
It is really cool, and it's cool that as people we're seeing almost this shift, throughout our early, if you're in your 30s, you saw the push for a lot of us to go into university, into college. Like there was no other question of what you could do in life. And I've seen a lot of these people come out of school and into work, and now we're sitting here and we're like, well, I've delivered value, but like, what has it given me? We're like, I've finished the project, but what has it helped me with? And now you're kind of questioning your whole world. So instead of like trying to fit into this corporate world, we just have to step out and find our own way. And I think that's where the most fun happens.
Well, and you have a great story of how you were able to identify the path you were going in and the path that you wanted to go into, and getting over to that path that you're at now. And I think there's a lot of people out there that can relate to that, or need to discover that they can relate with that, because that's what they want.
Yeah.
And having a person like yourself to speak with and watch tear a path that maybe they can follow, or at least relate with in their own, wherever they are in the neck of the woods, is pretty neat. And I think this is going to be an opportunity. Definitely these 3 or 4 events that we're going to put on together will be an opportunity for people to come out and experience it themselves. There's upcoming hunting and fishing and outdoor related shows that we're both going to be at together.
Yeah.
Ashley, I mentioned her art. You got to go on and check it out for yourself. It's ridiculous. It's not just painting. It's not just sculptures. She's burning. She's mixing it all together. It's fishing related. It's fly. I mean, it's you got to see it. Thanks. And so she'll be taking some people's favorite pieces, printing them on a number of different things, I believe, and selling them at shows and online. And she's also very generous in giving them away at certain events at the end of the year. There's a lot of stuff coming in 2022.
Yeah. I'm really excited for this year. We have a lot, just these 2 paper plates hold a lot of scribbles.
Yep. So, to wrap it up, anything you want to add?
I'm excited for 2022, and I'm hoping that you get to join and experience what Brandon and Justin, even though you're not here, you spiritually help cook it up.
We left a seat for you, Justin.
Yeah, there's a pillow and it looks like you. But yeah, just I think just being a resource for people that are maybe just starting this journey, and that's really where I'm leaving my last word is if you need a resource, come find me.
Excellent. And where can they find you?
So I'm on Instagram at Ashley Ann, with some underscores and some periods in there. And I'm working currently to finalize the name for this business here.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, you can visit, of course, our website, Network Outdoors. We'll be posting the different events, itinerary, and sign up. You can sign up there. Always, you can contact us through our social channels. Please give us a follow. Absolutely follow Ashley and get in touch with her if you're interested or even curious about anything brought up today. I know she would love to have that conversation with you. Until next time, signing off. Thank you very much for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Network Outdoors podcast. We really appreciate your support. If you or someone you know find value in connecting with other outdoors people, please drop us a line. We'll get you plugged in. Be sure to follow us on social at Network Outdoors and subscribe to our email list to stay up to date with events and outings by visiting networkoutdoors.com. Until next time, signing off.